Is it a bad look for these guys to speak out against the protest?
No, I will never condemn opinions for or against protesting. It blows the point. Jerry has his right, and so has Dabo. I just happen to disagree with it. You know, I talked about this on my radio show today. Distraction and divisive. As a dad, what creates divisiveness is if I don't listen to my kids, if I'm not willing to get off rigid stance. I think Chip Kelly's saying, it's not a distraction. I want to hear him out. We can talk about it. I think what creates division is when strong-willed Jason Whitlock isn't allowed to have an opinion and isn't allowed to be wrong. My kids get mad at Dad when I'm stubborn, when I'm unwilling to hear them out, when I'm unwilling to accept new ideas. Divisiveness isn't, I mean, there's couples that fight. There's an old term. You know, they fight and then they kick it.
Break up, yeah.
Yeah. That whole robust discussion is really, really healthy.
You've got a really good take. I just want to defend Dabo and Jerry a bit from people. What they're saying, time and a place for everything.
Sure, yes. True.
I heard Joel Klatt this morning say, hey, look, I love what Seattle did. You want to invite me to the table and hear you out, come out in a uniform way and say, hey, look, there's some problems here, but we all of us, Colin Cowherd, Jason Whitlock, Zeus Adder, Kyle Libby, we all need to be in on this together in fixing the problem. That makes Joel Klatt want to say, hey, I'll hear you out. When you come out the way Kaepernick did, I agree with Dabo. It creates some divisiveness and people cut off hearing anything. And then the other thing, what I want to say more big picture about Jerry and Dabo and just football people. I think there are a lot of people talking about football who don't know a damn thing about it.
I agree.
They don't understand the culture. They don't understand the people. Football is conservative and religious. Dabo wears his religion on his sleeve. Jerry Jones is a guy that grew up in the church. These conservative people and religious people that are getting demonized constantly in the media as racist. Here's what they throw their resume on. This is what football coaches do. And maybe not Dabo Swinney, but this is the culture of football, from Pee Wee all the way up to the NFL. You know who the guy is that picks you up from your neighborhood when you don't have a ride, brings you to practice, feeds you after practice, lets you live in his house, becomes your father figure when you don't have a father? That conservative religious football coach happens all over America. And so they want to sit around the left side of this or the liberal side of this, or they're racist. And what coaches believe and football people believe, I'll lay my resume down of what I've done to help people that don't look like me and don't come from the privilege that I come from. I'll lay that resume down, and then you show me your Twitter hashtags and your protest and gestures, and I'll stand on my resume.
No, listen, I agree. Listen, the NBA doesn't even allow you to sit during an anthem. They'll fine you. Companies, leagues, team, offices, ours, have a right. It does not impeach upon your First Amendment rights to have guidelines. So like I've said, I have no problem with a football coach saying, listen, here, space, time, there are workplace rules. I think my whole point is, my argument is, this is going to happen more. Let's get comfortable and understand that we're overstating divisiveness. Is that as players are empowered, the world's more transparent, players are more informed, they have a right to be wrong, but they're going to push back a little. The NBA has grown in popularity. Those players have the most say, the big contracts, the most leverage.
We'll let it play out over the long haul to see if it keeps working with the path the NBA is going down. I want to add this, though, Colin, in terms of, we talk a lot about divisiveness and whether Kaepernick's being divisive or blah, blah, blah. The real divisiveness to me that I see is when we shut people down from entering the conversation because their skin color isn't the right one. Or, hey, Dabo Swinney, he's a football coach and he's white. He can't have an opinion on this.
That's right.
That's divisive.
Right.
When you lock people out because Dabo's, and we're stereotyping, Dabo Swinney comes from nothing.
Oh, no,
this man was homeless. His mother lived with him in the dorms in Alabama.
Yeah.
When he comes from a place, I know too many football coaches, religious like him, came from nothing, self-made.
And it's that principle which got him out.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And football is their ministry. They're teaching people values.
Yes.
They're helping people.
Listen, you and I both agree with this. There are people in the media, they're just, you know, like the Chris Rock 911 joke. They're sitting there waiting to yell racist.
Yes.
There are, and I totally agree with you. I just believe robust discussion from all sides is not divisive. I think when we're authentic and we argue, this whole Kaepernick situation to me has been unbelievably healthy. From the protest to the booing to the endorsements lost to them gained. I said this yesterday. This thing to me empowers me. I've loved what I've seen.
Brother, and I'm saying this authentically.
Yeah.
You've touched me during the Kaepernick conversation, man, for weeks. Just the fact that you will engage in it and engage in it honestly. It's important. And
great, man.
respect for you.
Respect for you.
So, all right, we got more Speak for Yourself next.